Home Depot Halloween 2023. I don't think that they had a single miss this year, except for the weird scarecrow babysitter, but I'll talk about that later. Here's the gist of the video. I'm just gonna play all the videos and talk over it and give my thoughts and whatever. Alright, here we go. The aforementioned babysitter scarecrow thingy. I don't know what the heck this is trying to be. I'm all for weird and bizarre ideas, but I'm thinking things like Deathstalker. That thing is really cool and really weird. So is Cold Hate. But this is to me two ideas that were just kind of mashed together that doesn't really sit right. Maybe this is a fantastic concept, it just wasn't executed well. I don't know. I don't like it either way. Its price is really good though. Home Depot has done amazing with the prices this year, especially compared to Spirit Halloween. Next one is the Marsh monster. I used to not like this thing, and I used to think it was a Wendigo. The horns threw me off. While it doesn't make a good Wendigo, it does make a good Marsh monster. Whatever that is. All issues aren't resolved though. I still think that the face looks really funny, while its body looks amazing. Also, it talks. I don't think it should have talked. I think it should have just like made marsh monster noises. As you can see, its body turns, both arms move, its head moves, and its mouth opens and closes. It has amazing detail in the paint and sculpt, and all of this is for $200. That's crazy to me. If I were to buy this, I would just change its face and turn off its voice. Everything else is perfect. The next one is called Sinister Steve, and this one is really funny to me. This is probably the most shameless, self-congratulatory animatronic. It is the Home Depot animatronic. He has a tool belt and talks about floor prices while in a home improvement store. That is so funny! This is something I would never get, but if you're like a Home Depot superfan, then get the Home Depot clown. Here he is. He's waiting for you. This is the Predator of the Night. It's a 12-foot wide, 10-foot tall demon bat creature. And holy crap, is this hardcore for Home Depot. This is a favorite this year amongst most people, and for good reason. It's crazy. It's insanely detailed. It's insanely huge. And it's well priced. It's $350. Which I wouldn't be able to say about most other things. Again, Home Depot has amazing prices this year. There's not much more to say about this guy. It kind of speaks for itself. It is time to talk about my favorite of this year across all companies. This thing is crazy. It is called the Home Depot 3000, aka Cold Hate. Although it has a very silly name, it's not quite as silly as Steve. This was my first purchase this year, and that's because it's gonna go super well with mutants, first of all, and second of all, both of its arms move, its head has full motion with the servo motors, its eye moves, and its eye blinks. Also, its phrases and voice are fantastic. I love it. It is incredibly detailed and incredibly unique. We have not seen a cyborg animatronic like ever. What's unfortunate about that for him though is that it's a niche animatronic, meaning that it's perfect for some people but doesn't fit at all for most people. This one I think is really cool but is very looked over because there have been a lot before it that are just like it. But this is just another jump scare scarecrow, but probably the best one that I've ever seen. They just improved the idea over and over. This one is 7 feet tall, but moves its arms crazy fast to come and reach out at you. It is only $130. I just found this out. That is crazy. I might get it. I do not own a single jump scare prop, so this might be my first. Thanks again, Home Depot. First Cold Hate, now this. This next one is a fisherman in a rocking chair. Not exactly down my alley, but you know how you can fix that. Reskin this, make it, surprise surprise, a clown, and have it dying of laughter rocking back and forth in its chair. There's not a whole lot to say about this guy. Again, another super well priced animatronic. Anybody who likes the style of this character should definitely get it. This is a cool little set piece. It's a doll that rips off the teddy bear's head and then changes its eyes after blinking. I really like the focus this year on things that blink and move their eyes. The face makes a huge difference, which I think that a lot of other companies haven't really gotten around to. They usually focus on big movements like the arms, the head, the torso, but the face makes them look alive. And to be completely honest and completely real, I totally prefer the face. I already know people who have gotten this animatronic, and it's totally worth it. I think it's cool. A gravedigger. We've seen gravediggers before, but this one is in a much more interesting position, where it is trying to actually dig rather than just holding a shovel. Kind of like the Scarecrow, I think it is just a better version of what they've made before. Also, I really like the addition of the owl. I think it's adorable. The Boogeyman is here, and it is obviously an off-brand version of something from a show called Bagul, but despite that, it is really cool. It moves a lot, it's 8 feet tall, and it's only $200. Because of that value, I had it on my wish list for a long time before Marsh Monster beat it eventually. I'm super excited to see this thing in person. This is the 12-foot towering ghost. I like how while all the other companies are doing essentially the same thing, just a big tall guy, Home Depot is trying to keep it fresh by having some really interesting weird positions for these huge characters. After all, they were the ones who started the trend, so might as well be the ones to innovate as well. I don't have a whole lot of interesting insights to these things because honestly, I like them all. Home Depot is winning this year. Just kidding, I don't like them all. Look at this thing. They tried to create another Dean, and I don't think that I like it hardly as much. I can't really pinpoint an exact reason why. It's just not as good as Dean. Next! This is a 13-foot tall Jack Skellington animatronic. I think this is really cool. I'm not all that into licensed characters, so I wouldn't get this, but I see why many people would. You could replace its happy eyes with angry eyes, which I think is a cool feature, especially for such a big animatronic. On the topic of it being so big, why is it so big? It's Jack Skellington. I would really rather have a life-sized Jack Skellington, and not the kind of short one that we usually had. I'd like a 7-foot or 8-foot one that just looked super accurate. This thing is cool nonetheless, and awesome to put in your yard display. It'll be great for Christmas and Halloween. That is the benefit of Nightmare Before Christmas thing. This is one that I almost completely missed somehow. This is another favorite. It's called Lethal Lily, and you'll see why it's a favorite in just a second. Both its eyes blink, both its eyes move, its mouth moves, and its head has full motion. That is an extremely lifelike face. I want to put this in a line area because this is the kind of animatronic that looks good enough to just stare at. I really have nothing else to say. Its phrases are also really funny. That is all for this video. I hope that you liked it, and I'll see you at Flagship.